It just got real, folks. I have just a few quick updates today. I gave my notice at work. I made a decision on my healthcare insurance. I've finally picked a mover and have my move scheduled. And I got a really exciting suggestion for potential housing options when I travel. Last week, I gave notice to my company, and the word is now spread to most of my coworkers. Everyone's really excited for me. They're coming by my desk congratulating me, and I've had multiple coworkers talk about how jealous they are and how they want to come along, which I'd love to take them, and I think that's pretty awesome. So I've promised to send postcards and put a bunch of pictures online when I'm traveling. I'm really over the moon, really happy with the reaction that everyone has given me. So that's fantastic. My CEO is also getting me a piece of luggage for my going away gift. So I'll get another option for when I go to leave for traveling. And I'll be sure to show it off on here and give you guys a review of what I think. On to my favorite topic, health insurance. I did a bit more research and I found out the Affordable Care Act penalty works like this. If you don't have insurance for any month of the year, you pay a penalty for those months. So for a single person, the penalty in 2016 was $695. More for a family, and then it's capped at like $2,015 or something. Or 2.5% of your modified adjusted gross income. And the fee is whichever of those two is higher. So either, for a single person, either $695 or 2.5% of your income. They also haven't announced the 2017 penalties yet. This is just the 2016. So a little side note, isn't that a little bit odd to not tell people what the penalties are until after the year is over? Wouldn't it be nice to know ahead of time so I can decide whether or not I want to, get health insurance or pay the penalty? Everything just is weird about this. But anyway, I had a decent income in 2017, so my fee is just for the 3 months, not even a 12-month fee. It's at the $695 fee. I would have had to pay $174 for the last 3 months of the year not having insurance. But my fee would be the 2.5% of my income and then 3 months of that. That is significantly higher than the $174. But it's not quite as high as the lowest premium that I could find for private insurance for the rest of the year. So my choices are basically to pay $720 for insurance for the rest of the year that I don't need or want to get really, or pay just a bit less than that as a penalty for no insurance. Lovely. I also looked into options for temporary 60-day or 90-day catastrophic insurance, but then I read the website fine print, and those insurance plans don't even meet the ACA requirements, so you may still have to pay the penalty. No thanks. Up until about a few hours ago, I was strongly considering just going without coverage and then hoping for an appeal of the ACA. And I have never, ever lied on my taxes, but I even considered maybe I would just say that I had coverage for the whole year and hope to not get audited. I haven't gone with that plan, and I don't think I would have been able to, but I figured even if the ACA is not appealed, I would get to delay the fee, so I wouldn't have to pay it right now where I don't know how much income I'm going to have. It would also just come out of my tax return, so it wouldn't come out of the current money I'm aware of, that I have for my travels. So I thought that is better than paying $720 now out of out of my travel budget, basically. But I made a couple of additional calls today that I'm really happy I did because I thought I was done my research. I saw something through my current car insurance company. They actually have some health options. So I just called them just to see what they have. Turns out they have nothing additional. However, the rep mentioned something to me, a key piece of information that I was heretofore unaware of. You don't have to pay the fee if you didn't have coverage for less than 2 months of the year or less. This basically doesn't completely solve my problem, but it reduces my amount I have to pay by $400 or so at a minimum, maybe $500. Basically, how it works is I'm going to sign up for insurance for the month of October, the month following when I leave my company and I lose insurance, and then drop it before the end of October. And so for November and December, I will not have insurance, but I won't have to pay the fee because it was 2 months or less of the year. I figure since I'm hanging out in a retirement community for the next 3 months with people that are over the age of 55, most of them are in their 60s and 70s, they're all really careful. I figure I'll be okay avoiding any catastrophic accidents or health problems, knock on wood. Another thing that I am doing to help save money on healthcare is I'm contributing $500 directly from my paycheck next month into my HSA account before I leave. So HSAs are really great because they're pre-tax income and you can use it on pretty much anything healthcare related. So prescriptions, doctor visits. And so I figure putting some money in there pre-tax will save me money that I can use on anything that does happen if I need a simple doctor visit or whatever through the end of the year. Should be good to go with insurance, and I will stop talking about it now. Next, I visited my storage unit and I picked out my movers. The storage unit offers a free 16-foot moving truck for 4 hours as part of the deal that I got. So I booked that from 8 a.m. until noon on the day that I move. If I go over that 4 hours, it's just another $40 to just have the truck for the day, so it's not the end of the world. I also have to pay for the gas and some of the mileage. You get like 40 miles free, but it's actually, I think, 120 miles that we have to go. So I'm just going to summarize, figure out all the fees once I pay the bill because, man, they just really nickel and dime you through all this stuff. So I'll figure out what all the fees are and summarize it. I did find my movers on uhaul.com. So it turns out that they have a place on there where you can search for moving labor that's been rated and people have left reviews and all of that. This is perfect since I don't need somebody with a truck, and that was going to come out to be $600 or $700 potentially to do the move if with movers and a truck. So it's only going to be $265 this way for 4 hours for 2 people. And the person I spoke with on the phone told me that they would not charge me for the hour drive to the storage unit. So I get 4 hours of labor, of actual moving labor. And they're not going to charge me for time afterwards to travel home. So it's just some $25 flat rate for them to drive places. So with the tip that I'll give them, I think it'll be about $305 to do the move, which is less than half of what it was going to be with what I'd found so far. So really excited about that. And even with the $40 for the moving truck, and probably, I think all told, it'll come in under $400. I'm also going to drive out to the unit in 2 weekends, which is a week before I move, to go ahead and sign the contract. And I have a little mini SUV, so I'm going to pack that full of boxes. And that way I can save a little bit of time with the movers. Hopefully, if we move fast enough, we'll get the truck back and unloaded within the 4-hour window of the truck. I can save $40. My last main update is that one of my awesome coworkers suggested a website that I had never heard of that I'm looking into for potential housing options while I'm traveling. It's called trustedhousesitters.com. I'll link it below so you guys can click on it to get there. And it allows travelers to get free accommodations in exchange for watching someone's house and possibly their pets and watering their plants and, typical things like that. In exchange, the owner of the house doesn't pay the sitter, so I wouldn't get paid to do it, but the sitter doesn't also have to pay any rent. So it's a win-win for both parties. You have to pay a $119 fee up front to sign up for trustedhousesitters.com and to actually be able to get sits. However, I don't think that's going to be a main issue. I think they probably do that to make money, obviously, but also to keep out riffraff from signing up. It's a potential cool option, except when I think about using a website like this, images of Taken flash through my head, and I I get a little nervous. But I've used Airbnb, and a lot of people use Airbnb, so I figure it's got to be, have similar precautions in place. But I'll do more research. I'm probably going to search some things online and see what people say about it, and hopefully find out that it's all good. And because the concept's amazing for someone like me, it's exactly what I want to be doing. You can search by the duration you would like to house sit. You can search by the location. You can search by the country or the city. And so you can basically find what's available in the time. And hopefully, I would just do anything 2 weeks or more, because I don't want to move around too much. But, that could save some rent for me. And that's about it for now. Everything's really coming together for the move. I've been to the doctor's probably 10 times in the last few weeks just so I can check every possible thing that could be wrong with me before I lose my insurance. And this weekend's Labor Day weekend, so I'm going to hit up New York City with some friends, a little bit of traveling before the main trip. And then my next update will likely be after I get down to Florida. So it'll probably be in maybe 3 weeks because I don't have a lot of other things going on right now except packing. I've got all of the other logistics arranged. So once I get to Florida, I'll go ahead and provide a spreadsheet with a full breakdown of all the costs that I incurred for the move and, a summary of all the research. Basically everything I talked about consolidated into one episode. Thank you for joining me, and we will see you after the move.